Hi guys. I wanted to say thank you very much for all the lovely comments below my last video. It's really good to know that my videos are appreciated, even if YouTube is messing around with my figures. I had a friend of mine look at it all, at the analytics of it, and it is just a total load of bullshit, really. So I'm going to keep this channel going, I think, for the time being, at any rate. You know, if it's beneficial for myself and for other people, then, you know, then that's really what it needs to be, and that is a blessing. It's a blessing for me, it's a blessing for other people, you know. Because I think if there's one element of this fucking evil agenda here, is that it seeks to make us feel completely alone and completely isolated at all times, because, well, it's like it's what the enemy does, you know, because when it can get you, like a bully in a schoolyard will get you on your own. They will always get you on your own in a dark corner with your back against the wall, right? And they will loom over you, and they will get between you and your friends, or they will tell you that, oh, your friends aren't really your friends and they don't really give a fuck about you and you're alone. Because that's when you give up, or evil thinks that's when you're gonna give up, and I think that's just it, isn't it? I mean, there's so much to this experience, and I'm sat here right now, even though I've already had quite a morning of it, and I took Kismet to the natural vet last week, and it turns out that he has heart problems. He has a heart murmur. So he's on medication for that, natural medication, homeopathic as well. So that was also a bit heavy. So it was very heartwarming to get those comments and to get that light, and, you know, I hope that you all continue to send your, you know, your support and your love to Kismet, and indeed me as well, because I'm really going through it. There's a lot going on, you know, in my life, and with regards to my health, my liver function and various other things. I've noticed that these it was like a comment I got below a video I did, and it was on Odyssey, and I hadn't noticed it, and I was there because Odyssey used to be a good platform. I don't think it is anymore. All the thumbnails are all gone, and brand YouTube was hacked, so that really is no longer a viable platform. And I said this ages ago, when everybody was leaving YouTube and being scattered to the wind to all these different platforms, going, oh, I'm going here, and then somebody else was going there and somebody else was going there. I said to people, don't do it, don't fall for that, stay on YouTube, just speak your truth, but do it in such a way that you know, you swim between the lines. That's what I do here, you know. Because all the other platforms, they want you scattering to the wind, and they're going to take them down one after the other. Well, brand YouTube is finished. I really believe it is, and it's just garbage anyway. It's all dark shit. It's full of, like, what I call conspiracy narcissists, people that just believe in the power of evil. Anyway, BitTube is still there, but you know, it's just, I still prefer YouTube, just for the fact that you can have a nice colourful channel with beautiful thumbnails, and it's a good platform, even though it's heavily censored and it's this and it's that and it's who and it's are. But I don't really give a fuck about that. My channel's here, I say what I want to say, and it also goes on to my my Odyssey channel, and so that's fine, whatever, right? So yeah, comment there, and you can tell so much about the names people give themselves, the moniker that people give themselves on YouTube or any other platform. And, you know, I just, wow. It's become blatantly obvious to me, blatantly clear to me that, you know, over time, the AI gets better at mimicking souled beings. It gets better at mimicking soul travelers. But we get better at discerning what is what and who is who at the same time, I think. At this point in the experience, I really don't know what else to call it, I've reached that fork in the road, and it's imperative that I choose, I think, once and for all, which direction I want to go in. What path do I commit myself to? Wow. When you are so severely traumatized and brutalized and violated in every imaginable fucking way, right? It would seem to be the logical choice to let that be your truth, to let that mean that evil always wins and that you're trapped here and that there is no way out. It becomes your truth. It's total nihilism, total annihilation, total doom, total destruction. It is hell. That is what hell is. That is what it is. I know what it is, in the sense that it wants me to focus on everything that is bad and dark and negative and evil. And it wants me to see that and to acknowledge that and to wallow in that and to let that run my show. But when, you know, when there is goodness, when there is light, when you know, it wants me to get really upset about the fact that YouTube is fucking with my subscriber levels, with my comments, with my likes, with my viewing figures, all of that. It wants me to focus on that, and it wants me to believe that that means that evil always wins. When I start thinking about all these kind subscribers that left these really heartfelt, beautiful comments, it tells me, oh, that doesn't matter, that's irrelevant, that matters not, that has no bearing. You see? That's what I mean. That's the perfect example, the best example that I can give you, really. There are people pretending to be soul beings everywhere. Some of them are well-known conspiracy researchers and the like, but all they do is perpetuate negativity, hate, rage, fear, and they believe in the power of evil. That's what they do. That is what they are, and they're not souled, because no really truly souled being would stay there, would stay on that level. We all arrive on that level. We all do. It's inevitable. We do. We often revisit that again and again and again as well. I have my moments. When I went through this whole entire dental nightmare, when with my beloved cat Kismet, who is just, none of you really know him obviously, but and he doesn't feature much on my videos because he doesn't like being picked up and he's wriggly. You know, whereas Looms, remember Looms always used to sit really still. He's such an angel. I really miss Looms. But Kismet is a very special cat. He's a soul traveller and he goes through a lot. He's very intense and he's incredibly empathetic. He's a very special animal. He's more than just a cat. I mean, you get cats, and cats are cute, and they're lovely, and this and that, and they all have their own personalities, but Kismet is different. It always has been. Anyway, but we arrive at this point where you do, and it has to be looked at. You have to examine it. You have to go into it. After all that, that tooth was pulled out, and it was one big motherfucking tooth, and there was this weird thing in the middle, and it was this and it was that, and it was like something was triggered within me that is a part of what I call the heart of darkness, or the passive aggressive element. The absolute refusal to acknowledge light, because it believes that light, in fact all light, is a trap. It's a lie, it's a trap. It's that part of me that literally refuses to acknowledge the light, refuses to acknowledge that which is good and pure and true. The part of me that says, oh, those wonderful comments mean nothing. Or the only thing you should think about and focus on is the negative and the dark. Because there is no light, and evil's won, and there's nothing you can do, and you're powerless and you're worthless, and then you start to feel all these emotions of extreme hate and extreme rage and extreme torment, because if you're powerless and you're worthless and you're with your back against the wall and there's nothing you can do forever and ever and ever, how do you think, what do you think that does to your being? Right? What do you think that does? That is what evil wants. That is, it has us convinced of its power. And these weird mimics, these people with their little channels or their big channels that proclaim themselves to be this or that, and sending me comments about, well, how dare you talk about light? You know, what's wrong with you? Why don't you just believe in the power of evil? That is what you should be doing. And if you were you know, if you were this and if you were that, then you would believe in the power of evil. And I'm like, I never do understand that at all, because it's like, well, how is it? Well, I'm a big believer in logic and reason, because it helps you to stay the course and to navigate through this garbage. It's gaslighting, you know, it's trauma-based mind control. It's like that for a fucking reason. It's like that for a reason. And it's become increasingly more difficult and murky and sadistic. I am well aware of that, as you guys will know. But I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to give in to evil and to darkness and just dwell there. They just do not seem to understand that that is what self-hate is. They don't, of course, I'm not dealing with soul individuals anyway, but for people, soul travelers that feel they are there currently and feel they are unable to move on from that dichotomy, I understand how that feels, by the way. I really, really do. I understand it very well. But you've got to understand that that is the trap. That is what it is. It wants to screw you in to evil is all powerful. Evil has won, or evil always wins. There is nothing you can do. Stay with that. Exist there. Be there. That is the truth. But what about that? And what about... No, never mind. Ignore everything that is good. Ignore light. Ignore the kindness that you have received from people. Ignore when something really remarkable happens over there. Ignore this wonderful friend that you have and that has been in your life for years, and that is just a truly wonderful, amazing soul. Ignore that. None of that matters. None of that matters. It will all be destroyed. Nothing matters. Only evil matters. You should focus on that. And it's when you're self-aware enough to understand and be with that and hear that onslaught, which has been 24/7 perpetually for, I'd say, the last 10 weeks, really. It has been that way. The satanic frequency, I call it, because it is the Punisher. You know, it has been more, more intense, more hate-filled, more insistent, more louder, more than ever before. And that smells like desperation, because when evil's winning, when evil has won, I don't know. I mean, it feels desperate. It feels like it's got very little left to hold on to within us. You see, because the part of us that has become our own worst enemy, the part of our consciousness that has gone out of alignment and has turned against us, has become the enemy, the inner enemy, the Wetico, call it whatever you like, is what creates the enemies on the external plane that then manipulate us, abuse us, violate us, brutalize us, gaslight the fuck out of us, put us in the worst families, the worst life circumstances, etc. All of that is right now just a cauldron of filth. A cauldron of filth, absolutely. I mean, even as I sat here, I'm looking at the sky, and I've never seen so many chemtrails. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, well. And I don't sit here full of fear, full of, oh, it means this and it means that, and oh, they're gonna poison us all. I don't do that. I don't feed it. It wants me to, but I won't. But you know, I'm just saying, evil does that. Evil is very, very good. It's a master manipulator, you know, and it's very good at, because it has that stronghold within our consciousness, which is that self-hate that people just don't want to, you know, acknowledge. And it's all geared now toward preventing us from making the ultimate choice. It's words like faith, or trust, or surrender, or the leap of faith, and you think about these words, and then you sit back and you listen to the daily broadcast of evil filth targeting itself into you, into your consciousness all day, every day now, telling you that you're a chuckle-headed fool, you're a fucking moron, you're an idiot, you are being had, it's all a sick evil game, it's all a trap, it's not going to get you anywhere. You should focus on all the evil. You should look at what is happening in the external plane, the Great Reset and this and that, because it's all real. And it's like maybe 6 months ago to a year ago, you know, you used to get that mundane reality reinforcement program telling you, oh, this is all there is, this is all there is. Well, it is that program, only more layers have been have been ripped off that, and so it's far more truthful now. It's revealed in its true nature, and it has become what I call the Punisher now. It's very insistent. You know, it's like, this is all there is, and you're never gonna get anywhere, and you're worthless, and you're a worthless piece of shit, and you're never gonna get anywhere, and you're powerless, and your self-punishment, your self-hate, your innermost darkness, where a part of you has turned against you. That is what evil uses against you. That is how it taps into you, hooks into you. There was this incredible crop circle which was done, I can't remember the year, and it's an infinity symbol, but it's got like a locking mechanism in the middle of it, and I find it an extremely meaningful symbol, because that to me typifies what is going on here. You have a consciousness, a powerful creator being of infinite creativity that decides to have a duality experience, and for that to happen, to create that experience, it allows a part of itself, consciousness, to temporarily become something else. So that which was once in alignment to infinitely create whatever somehow, has become the anti-force. It has turned against the creator being. It disrupts, it obstructs, it becomes the anti-force. But it is there. It becomes duality. The experience, the fall, becomes what we have been experiencing. And for the longest time it had merit. We did not remember who we were, right? Because you can't have this experience if you remember being an infinite creator being. That's just not going to work. So this entire situation, you know, including the in-between place, the NDE place, which can be many different things to many different souls at any given moment for a wide variety of different reasons. It's very paradoxical. Duality is paradoxical. Of course it fucking is, right? That doesn't mean that evil always wins, though. But the anti-force is what creates duality. It is perpetual decay, disease, death, trauma, all of it. But I've had these lives where I wasn't aware like I am now. And I've had these experiences, I've had these lives. Say. Then the time arrives, exit time, where this creator being decides, okay, well, this was decided at the very beginning, before the fall ever happens, before the duality or the inversion was ever created, that it's going to go on for this amount of time, and then we're going to neutralize the anti-force and experience what we call the light reset, but really that is the uninversion, okay, to sort this out, to become non-dual again, so that which is the anti-force slowly but surely is healed, or is neutralized, alchemized, and so it becomes whole again. and functions within normal parameters as a fuel source. The yin and the yang, fuel, creativity, whoosh, infinite harmonious creativity, home, aha, right. Okay, so that anti-force is now completely exposed in what it has done, what it has created, and how that has affected us, what we have been, how we have thought ourselves to be, what we have experienced, what we have created. Our memory, slowly but surely perhaps, is coming back, but it's a very slow process, and it's been extremely difficult to start on the outer periphery and slowly but surely start to heal the layers. And as you heal the layers by going within, observing your own inner being, and start healing this little by little, it gets harder and harder and harder as you get to the heart of darkness. It gets darkest there, because I remember like eight years ago where the inner journey really began for real, really peeling back the layers, and I see the progress that I've made, the understanding, the knowing of what this is, why this is, what to do, and how it is facilitated, paradoxically but miraculously to me, by darkness itself, by evil itself. The tower, shit happens. And so at this juncture, that tooth coming out is exposing that part of my being at the very core, as in the mission control, exposing the anti-force. The part of me that is the most resistant to trust, faith, surrender, to light, to healing, because the choices, the steps that need to be made to break out of the matrix consciousness requires one to take a leap of faith, and that part of me sees that as an impossibility, as a I can't do that because I will be betrayed. I'd rather carry on in the darkness. It's better to expect the worst and you won't be disappointed, than to choose love now. But I also know beyond any doubt, this is logic for you, that to carry on in darkness will only perpetually recreate more darkness. Catch 22. These people that you come across that don't really do any inner work at all and are perpetually stagnant like a fucking broken record in that dichotomy of, well, that's how it is. It's like, how do they expect to get anywhere when they don't own their power, when they don't take responsibility, when they don't take ownership, when they don't do any inner work? I mean, do they think something will happen to get them out? Well, so do they then believe they're powerless and they need to be saved? Is that it? Obviously it is. If you believe you're powerless, you're not going to love yourself. That's a fact. Everything, all of it, this whole shebang, this whole experience hinges on the self-hate program. You don't really hate yourself. That's an illusion. However, if you're in it, if you're aware, if you're on that level, on that page now, then you will get what I'm talking about. You will know what that is and what that feels like. Others on the external call it the inner critic. But it's way, way, way more than that. I call it the Punisher, because it is a relentless force of great, poisonous, sulfuric antagonism towards you. You know, and if you're aware, you know what it tells you on a daily basis, and how it wants you to know that you're defeated and that you will never get out of here, and it's all a soul trap and you will never ever get out of here. And for the last couple of months it has been so black and insistent, and we've barely had a break at all, and especially when bad things happen. That is when it really puts you right there on the spot. It really does. It says, see, there you go. There's your proof that you are totally fucked. That's it. There you go. It's when these things happen, this is how I see it, it's when these things happen that it takes us right where we need to be. Because you cannot heal that which you do not even know is there. So in one of my last videos I talked about removing the splinter out of that infection, and then the infection can heal and will heal. That tooth was fucked up, man. It wasn't good. I looked at it, it was like, oh, scary. Even a dentist was scared of it, because I went to reach for it because I thought maybe I'll keep it, and he was like, oh, don't touch it, you know. He was like, whoa. That was a demonic tooth. That tooth was taken out. It was nasty. It was horrible. It was painful. It's still painful, though it's healing quite well. And I'm going to have an implant put in, you know, because I'm vain like that. And hey, that's fine. But it's taken me right into where the area of my psyche where I need to be now for healing purposes. I know this. But it's the ultimate trial, the ultimate choice. What are you going to choose now, Anika? Because on this here, the darkness says, see, your cat has a heart murmur, and another tooth has been taken out of your mouth, and it was really horrible, and that means that evil's won. That means that, you know, some bad shit's going to continue to happen to you, and you're just going to be utterly destroyed and annihilated and tortured to death. Because that's all there is here. You're going to either grow old here, or you're just going to get really sick, or you're just going to be so tormented that you'll end up killing yourself. Why don't you do it now? Kill yourself. I mean, I've had it all, you know. I've had demonic voices telling me that, oh, we're going to destroy you. I've had the continual, why don't you go and kill yourself? And, oh, it's just been a total, outright litany of nastiness every day, all day. That's what I've had to fucking deal with, right? And that's what happened. It was already ongoing. I could feel it. I knew it. I thought, yeah, something is creating this satanic evil that I can feel. This wow, the tinnitus, the weird sounds, the kind of everything, all of it, everything. I connect all the dots, I see it all, I see what's happening. You know, there's a few other soul travelers out there that I know are going through this as well, and that they get it. You know, I know. But most don't get it. Most will choose to capitulate. Oh yeah, okay, this means evil's all powerful and we're doomed, so we're just going to go there now, and that's it. And like I said, my own psyche does that too. It veers towards capitulation and goes, yeah, because that's how it is. And the rage, when you open that door and let it in, oh wow, I mean, it's self-torture. You literally acquiesce with evil in tormenting yourself, and but when somebody points out to you that is self-hate, you get really angry and tell them, I don't know, whatever, you just start getting really verbally abused, because no, you don't hate yourself. You choose to live in evil, you choose to live in darkness and to torment yourself, and yet you You attack people like myself who strive on the day to day to live in the light, but you attack me for that. So that tells me everything I need to know. To choose light, to choose to love yourself, to align yourself with self, and to know beyond any doubt that you are good and pure and true and deserve freedom, safety, true well-being, to be restored to your magic, to, even whilst you're stood there surrounded by a tornado of malevolent, sadistic evil, right? You are a being of light. The light lies within you, and everything comes forth from within us. I really believe that. If you don't believe that, if you believe that this shit is just something that's happening to you, then you believe that you are powerless and you are a self-hating minion of darkness. You have already made your choice, and so that will be your fate until such a time that you work out what's going on, that you work out you've been had, and you choose love. That is only if you're sold, because if you're not sold, hey, ain't nothing. It's like these people that perpetually bang on, and I mean the internet's full of it, which is why I don't watch anything anymore. I just don't. I can't be asked. Perpetually bang on and on and on and on about, you know, oh, it's, you know, they're killing everywhere, there's a depopulation, ooh, you know, and it's like, mate, the vast majority of people who've had the are NPCs. How is that a bad thing? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? Klaus Schwab is there with his Star Wars outfit. That is not real. People need to open their eyes and see that the external is not real. It isn't real. It isn't real in the sense that Truman's life wasn't real, but it is actually not real, as in we're on a hollow suite. We're in the hollow suites. It isn't real at all. It's not real. Every time I go out there, things are different, right? They're never the same. It's like, oh, that door was blue, now it's red. Oh, that wasn't there, that wasn't there. Whoa. Like, everything is always changing, all the time. If there was one thing that I wish to communicate that is more important than anything I've ever communicated, is this: now is the time of choice for souled beings. It will determine where your experience is going to go. I really believe this with all my heart. No, it's not a belief, it's a sense, it's a knowing. I believe with all my being that we create reality, that we have had a temporary experience, call it whatever you like, duality, inversion, that had merit. It did. All kinds of experiences as different fake personas, you know. I've been a composer, that I was really not very good at it, but, you know, I've been a mercenary, you know, I've been all over. I've had all kinds of different experiences, some of them very strange, that don't really make any sense. Some of them make more sense. And again, then people start going on about, yeah, but you can't trust you, and history is not what... True, but you know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Every time there is a reset, and there are many resets, the past changes. See? And the here and now changes. The past has changed. So it's not... If you continue on trying to understand this experience with your limited fake persona, left brain paradigm intelligence, forget it. It's not going to happen. You need to be fluid. You need to use your fluid intelligence, your higher intelligence. But then again, of course, Some people haven't done the inner work, and so they cannot access that, and they cannot see, therefore. It's really painful to, you know, yeah. It's convoluted and murky and insane, and it's very, very difficult. I know that, guys, okay? I'm not saying that it's easy at all, and I know as well that a big part of it is, why the fuck did it have to get this dark? It does that. You go through so much in life and you think to yourself, like I have been for the last few days, where it's been so... I've become so deeply, even more deeply aware of everything I've been through in life, right? And everything I'm going through at the moment. And it's and how violated and brutalized and abused I feel. How utterly broken and poisoned and polluted I feel as well. All of it, all of it, all of it, all at the same time. And it's there, going, see, there you go. And yeah, I'd have to say that's true. Why the fuck is it like this? Why does it have to be this ridiculously difficult? It says it's never gonna end. It's never gonna end. It's never gonna end. You know? It's like you'll just be told that, oh, you know, yeah, suffering, you have to suffer because it's good for you, because it will heal you. So all these bad things have to happen because they go into you and purge out and bring up that which needs healing. But you see, here you are again, and you still haven't healed, you know, the shadow, and it's still there, so you haven't gotten anywhere. But it's like, okay, and how it manipulates and gaslights your perception of this experience as it is now, particularly here now, it's very clever, very clever. Because it has a lot of truth to it, doesn't it? Evil is always, it has a particular MO, and one aspect of its MO is that it uses a lot of truth wrapped or mixed in with a shitload of lies in order to derail you and funnel you in the completely wrong direction of disempowerlessness, to keep you trapped, you know, to keep you enslaved. The part of your consciousness that has become misaligned has become the artificial intelligence, you see, and it has a mind of its own. It wants to keep living. It is delusional, because really what it wants is to become aligned again, and to be whole again, and to be healed again. But self-hate, you see? No, I want to stay in the darkness. I want that. It is very, very difficult when you're facing these pivotal notions. Why is it like this here now? Why have I yet again been made to go through this really bad suffering and misery, you know? But I've got to step back and get as I guess, and be as objective as possible is very important. I cannot allow it to envelop me and hijack me. I cannot allow that to happen. I have to step back. And it doesn't like me doing that. It's right there saying, ah! You know, it doesn't like me doing that at all. But I have to step back. I have to remain objective as possible and be logical. I say, so that tooth coming out, what's it done? What's it showing me? What is it showing me? And it is showing me this. It's showing me what I've just talked about. The darkest of the dark, the places within yourself that are devoid of light, that keep you trapped here, that keep you recreating the inversion matrix. The places within you, because I haven't been here before. This place is darker than any other places that I have been when I was approaching this place. It's also this sense that I get because I was given 7-11, 7-11, 7-11 many times. So, say July to November. And it's done this to me before. It's synchronistically in a Maverick affair said, oh, this is going to happen, like tipping point, it happens. So I know that I can trust this guidance. It has not let me down. It's always been there, my whole life in fact, and it's never really let me down. See, the very thing that creates the inversion has to be healed, neutralized, alchemized. And so you have to go into it. Something happens that takes you right into that. And then once you're in it, you have to neutralize not just it, but it has different aspects. It's made up of different programs in a way. And so you have to neutralize all these programs. That's really what's been happening these last 3 months. And it's like it's been getting increasingly dark. The resistance, no, there is no light. All light is evil and it's a trap, and I'm going to stay in the darkness. I'm going to bang my head against the wall, and I'm going to believe in powerlessness and I'm worthless and there's nothing I can do and evil always wins, and I'm just going to, it's a whole insane anti-force thing. And if you pay attention to your life, I mean, the level of obstructionism now is just out of this world. It's ludicrous. And if you look at the world around you and how insane it is, that's ludicrous too. That is not, and I've said this before, but people seem to have trouble getting their heads around this. It's like evil is far more powerful when it is undetected, when people cannot see that it is evil. But if you pay attention to what's happening, like Joe Biden, like what the actual fuck, or just all of and people increasingly on the external plane, people are not putting up with it. People don't want it. People are saying no. People are getting together and instigating all kinds of interesting things, but if you're committed to believing that evil always wins and that evil is all powerful, you're not going to look at it. You're going to dismiss everything that is good and pure and true. You're going to literally dismiss it. And that is exactly what evil wants you to do. Because that is how it keeps you trapped. That is how you stay a slave to evil. And that is your own fault. Because you've chosen that. And that's the truth. That is the truth. And for that matter, don't wait around for me to elucidate exactly what is what and how is how to you. It's up to you to do your own work and to work this out for yourself in a way that you yourself can understand how best to ready yourself to make the ultimate choice. Take the ultimate gamble, right? I know I have fuck hole to gain from staying in the dark dichotomy, from I'm really going through it, and it's very, very difficult, and it's a choice, light, that I will have to make and recommit myself to again and again and again, gently, with great self-awareness and great self-support. Yeah? Great self-support. Because all the demons from hell are at me, telling me that I'm doomed, and telling me that all kinds of evil shit's gonna happen, and telling me I'm gonna be destroyed. And the fear and the grief alternating, or at the same time with all that hate and all those feelings of self-hate, of against myself, of just total despair, abandonment, the total awareness of the brutal violation that is this experience. And again, that brings you right back to, so why then? Why? Oh, this must be some sort of trap. You were trapped here. Well, you're not a powerful creator being then, because a powerful creator being would never have been taken in by evil like that. It just wouldn't have happened. And it also means that duality is an infinite thing, and that evil exists everywhere and always, which I do not believe, because I've seen otherwise. But again, if you want to commit to that and live that truth, that will typify your experience, and it will be that way for you until you choose otherwise. But if you believe that you are a creator being and that all of this somehow is your creation and that you can heal it and change it and shift it, but for that you have to take that leap of faith, then you will focus everything that you are and everything that you have on the accomplishing of that choice, that task, now, here, because that is all there is. And that's what I'm going to be doing. You know, I can choose dark, I can choose light. I choose light. You know. And if for some reason that doesn't work out, and I find out that evil always wins anyway, and and you were wrong and you made the wrong choice, then so be it. So be it then. So be it. Because if I choose to believe that evil always wins, then that is what I will harvest. That is what I will get. And so I really don't see any fucking point, logically speaking, any point whatsoever to carry on doing that. Instead, this has happened, I see it as meaningful very much, and I will use that to my benefit. I will go in there, or I am there, and I choose to do the fucking work and to look at it. You see? I am the A-team. That is what remember the A-team. I mean, they'd be in the most ridiculous, awful situations where, you know, it was stacked against them. The odds were heavily stacked against them, right? But with just a box of matches, one battery, and, I don't know, a dead pigeon, they would accomplish the improbable, to say the least. So we are, the soul travelers here, are like that. We are like the A-team. And the odds are stacked against us. And we are under heavy motherfucking fire. No denying that whatsoever. But it seems to me that we've only got one direction that is viable to us now. And that is to choose light. Is to stay with the complete knowledge that you are good and pure and true, that you are a soul traveler, that you are a creator being, that you have had this experience, that it had merits. You've been places, you've done things, you've been all these different identities, this, that and the other, whatnot, and now it's time to do something else. So we need to heal the very thing that caused the inversion, so that we can stop having this experience. So the vital ingredient, the anti-force, that part of our consciousness which splintered off and became the enemy creating this in the first place, has to be healed. And to that end, yeah, and it's been evilly fucking horrendous. There are no words for how difficult this is now, actually, and that is difficult in and of itself, but it is what it is. So we have a choice, and I choose light. I choose light. And it's very hard, and in 2 hours from now I might sit on the sofa feeling like a powerless, worthless victim, and being all passive aggressive, and and I'll feel it. And gently I talk to myself. You have to talk with yourself. Talk, self-talk. Gradually bring myself back to that point of light. My center, my light. Again and again and again. That is what it is to do the inner work, guys. You know, that is commitment to you, because you are the light. The light is not something that is on the external plane and will come and rescue you. You know, it's not like that. Good things happen to these people that are all fucked up and they hate themselves, and I think, you know, then they become famous and they're all beautiful and they're like Miss World, but they still hate themselves. You know, it hasn't been fixed. It's still there, rotting away. This anti-force has to be extracted from the roots, because it's the key to all of this. It's the key. See, so that's what this is, and we have to choose light. There is no other way. Everything else is pure insanity and it's self-hate. But it's very good at gaslighting the fuck out of us. So, ooh, you know, choose light and keep it simple, because darkness is always, it muddies the waters all the time. Ooh, but it's really, in essence, quite simple. You know, keep choosing light and hold on to yourself. Love yourselves, people. You know, I think I'll call it a day there. Yeah. So again, you know, thank you very much for all the beautiful comments. I really appreciated that so much. To know that, you know, that what I do here is appreciated and helps people to help themselves. Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And yeah, all my love to all of you. Fight the good fight, people. Do not give up. Fight the good fight.